Howdy doody. I'm going to tell you a little old story. Last week we talked about truth and how it was spreading and how people are getting strength in their minds to acknowledge truth and not just be burdened down by having to believe something or believe in a myth and all that. We talked about that a lot, and I'm sure if you want to go through the archives on the Winchester Cathedral, you get a lot of good out of it. But the truth of the matter is, I get a real lot of good out of it too, just telling you about it. But the story is this. There's a home that's over 100 years old. And on the living room wall, there's a picture of a family in the front yard sitting under trees. Well, you know, trees are a lot different in those days. Today they're kind of small, you know, because they're planting a lot of them on the side of the roads and everything. But the tree I'm talking about is a giant, massive oak tree that's out in that yard. There's a lot of truth in a tree, you know. A tree's lush at the top. It has leaves and branches, and a healthy tree goes far out and gives you shade. But any farmer will tell you that if you water and you fertilize the tree, you got to make sure you water it all the way out to the edge of the top branches, and to it like on the ground. You look up and you say, well, here's a branch, and well, make sure the water gets here, or irrigate it and it gets watered that way for sure. And that's because, you see, the way that top is also very similar to the way the bottom is, meaning the roots. The roots are deep. They're down in there. You can't always see the roots. Well, very seldom can you. But they're there. And a tree is identical on the top to what the root system is underneath. It's the same with us. There's a root system and a foundation in your life. It's a real and powerful foundation. I like to call, you know, the Bible talks about the tree of life. Well, life is spirit. That's what gives you life. It's not just the air and the water and a few little chemical and mom and papa being intimate. Life is given by spirit. And if you have a solid root system that's totally grounded and one with that spirit, you'll bloom on the top of your life like you can't believe. Nothing can stand up to you. Winds and storms and tornadoes and floods and tsunamis, you name it, you're still going to be standing through it all. The winds of your life are nothing compared to the root system that you're putting down in your life, meaning the understanding and the awareness of your spiritual heritage. I think you could stand up to anything and everything that comes into your life, because when you have a strong foundation rooted in God, you know the truth. And it's the truth that sets you free. Well, you're probably wondering why I brought this up. Because so many people have tried to change that foundation. Just the other day I was turned on the TV and heard an old boy preaching. And he was saying what all we had to do to be saved, and had a whole list of things, and we weren't good enough, and we needed to confess our sins, and we needed to do this and do that. Everybody makes sins. Everybody. That's a word for mistake. I used to call it silly, ignorant nonsense, because that's what it is. You know, you grow by your mistakes and learning from the mistakes of others. And that's real spirituality. Spiritual growth. Let's just work on becoming the best we can be, and then becoming better and better and better. God bless y'all. I'm looking forward to talking to you next week, and I think I'll cover mistakes next week.